Welcome to Which to Take with Christina Lisa and Movie Lab number 15 of Psycho Sociology, a course to free will. Peace. You may call us river and develop with us which virtues of courage, honor, integrity, truth, and wisdom. You know, sometimes the loss is such that you want to hurt yourself and others, but not really. And you find that all you can do during those times is to watch a movie, TV series, channel a stream. Those are some of the cards you enjoy playing during those times. And in this session, we dance with Outer Banks. We vibe with adoption and gypsy aspects on our path, hoping to channel in a way that allows us to learn without study and practice, discipline or punishment, to develop a healthy Vishuddha, throat chakra, to seek and share our truths instead of becoming distracted, irresponsible, secretive, hidden, and alone in our knowledge, and to develop, grow, nurture authentic, harmonious, honest relationships between ourselves and others. In this course to free will, we see everybody as a different psychosociology experiment, and only your intentions and actions determine your future. We respect that what resonates for one may not for another, and appreciate the gift of discernment, testing what aligns before deciding what to take and adopt as our own. While the matters of which we speak during these podcasts may seem scary or like we take a side, our mission is to adopt success for one and all in home, school, business, streets, nation, religion, outer space. Coming from a homeless shelter and an orphanage, maintaining a safe home is of the utmost importance to us. Our primal and physical wounds prevent us from playing the good-evil game to fit in, belong, be accepted. Keeper of the earth, moon, stars, we try to help young through elder humans succeed and stay in the classrooms of their life. If this is resonating and you want more, at your leisure, you may hang out for other spells in our virtual offices, like at calendly.com/which to take, WITCHTOTAKE, and that is http://calendly.com/which to take. Also https://substack.com at which to take, and https://linktree with a period after the R, so that's linktr.ee/which to take. And then for fun and education, you may flip through those socials like a deck of tarot. And if you want to collaborate, then you may email us at whichtotake@gmail.com, and or through one of those other links we already gave you. So thank you so much for joining us in this podcast. We are in awe of your energy, essence, and arts, and how you are being gentle with yourself, steering clear of danger, playing with yourself your cards for the life you need, want, and desire as you and life keep changing into the blue beyond. And in this mini session, this movie lab number 15 about the Outer Banks, we have about 5 data points to drive the dialogue, data-driven dialogue, and so imperative to be able to learn how to speak again as a literal and figurative orphan, adoptee, and gypsy who grew up for decades or lifetimes suppressing our truths and heritage in order to fit in, belong, be accepted, avoid persecution. And now in a high state of adoption, we don't have to do that anymore. but we are choosing to learn how to speak all over again and maintain that high state of adoption. So thank you for joining us in that. And watching these movies is a wonderful way to help us in that endeavor, whether we're just watching by ourselves and talking with ourselves finally about these truths, the literal and figurative orphan, adoptee, and gypsy truths, or whether you're going as far as sharing in the comments what you think, but that is public, so just be aware, public comments may receive public attention, and if you're not prepared for that, then, that's cool. You can wait until you are, right? We are all just learning for life, and what a beautiful thing to be able to guard your growth and not feel possessed to like or comment or subscribe or any of that. Just taking sweet care of yourself, and then as you grow and evolve, things keep shifting, and so maybe you decide you are ready to participate more. So the 5 data points and the Outer Banks that we picked up on, I mean, every youth under 35 in this show, from the unwanted fetus gestating within one of the wombs of the adolescents to the prized firstborn in the group, right? Everybody's represented, and how, it's so challenging to be a teacher and a parent that most leave within the first 5 years. And we can remedy that. And, starting with us. Maybe we decide we're not going to repeat those patterns. Maybe we decide we're not going to have a family and we are just going to focus on taking care of ourselves, because that's a 24/7 task. And so I don't know what comes up with you with that first bit of data. And then the second bit of data, how law enforcement and other adults in position of authority in this show criminalize loss was interesting to us, especially after learning since 2012, reading Ian Hancock's book about Obaroporiamos, what most others call the Holocaust, how Romany referred to that, and that Obaroporiamos translates as the great devouring rape. And what a thing to be called a criminal if you're just acting out in grief. It's not justice. In high states of adoption, we see that. And in the Holocaust, we saw how loss was criminalized, and the people with the most loss, we can list them out. We've all studied that, even though Romany were often left out of our history books growing up in the 70s, 80s, 90s. How we can flip this. We don't have to criminalize loss anymore. We can see evil for what it really is, loss, and then, hey, maybe it's not always our turn to serve the unarmed truths and unconditional needed for that person, and that's cool. We can go tag out and tend to ourselves, and somebody else who is prepared may step up. And then when we're ready, in other cases, we may step up, sort of like lifeguards taking over shifts, maybe, or you fill in the blank. That evolutionary process that we go through when we are learning, and then when we decide we want to apprentice, to step into a certain role, the learning changes in this general education to the apprentice education to the mastership, right? We don't approach it the same way as we grow and evolve. Our learning shifts. And so, yeah, the criminalizing of loss, we can start seeing that for what it is, evil for what it is. It's really loss, and tending to that, stepping into healers and becoming healers of healers, teachers of teachers, and watching all the chaos shift into beauty. Okay, third piece of data. The youth involved in this show, The Outer Banks, on literal and figurative search for hidden treasure, trying to solve the mystery of their life, and also that hidden treasure that's inside everybody's heart, right? How to find your own heart when you've been so tuned to take care of everybody else first. And also the literal treasure. So that was interesting. Sitting in a high state of adoption, seeing that from the stage, as opposed to, wow, if I had seen that when I was younger, I might have just jumped right in. Like, oh yeah, this is what we do. I'm not sure that made sense, but you get the gist. We're just talking about bits of data and our shifting beliefs and opinions and states. So number 4, how the actors portraying the youth are so hot and the viewers feed off their precious life force because they're so fucking hot. And or the viewers are trying to solve their problem of their own existence through watching this show, right? The shows are treatments. It's not just a diversion like the 13th zodiac Ophiuchus, pardon me if I'm not saying that correctly, in between Sagittarius and Scorpio. Scorpio and Sagittarius is the snake bearer, and part of the healing treatments he offered, he was trained by Chiron, the wounded healer, and part of the snake bearer's treatments were theater, taking in entertainment to help you shift from here to there. And how brilliant is that? It's not just about getting the massage or the acupuncture or the acupressure or the Reiki, or you fill in the blank, all the different ways the healing plays out. It is also about through taking in treatments of theater arts and performing arts and all the different ways that plays out. So we have a lot of cards in our deck from which to choose which healing treatment we want to play next to help us remain gentle with ourselves. So gentle, swapping out fighting spirit for adoption spirit, and that is thrilling. And so the 5th piece of data, number 5 is actually a number that energetically may help us becoming overburdened when many others are pulling on us energetically, like the literal, figurative, orphan, adoptee, and gypsy, who is adopted like a prescription to overcome somebody else's loss, like an emotional support pet, and how so many are pulling on the orphan, adoptee, and gypsy energetically, and it's so easy for us to become overburdened, and we're letting that go and swapping out those social contracts, and again, swapping out that fighting spirit for adoption spirit, and how thrilling. So those were just 5 little bits of data that I expounded upon, having a conversation with myself and you all, and encouraging you all, if it is fun for you, to do the same now that you know what you know and you are dancing from low to high states of adoption as needed, instead of just thinking, oh my God, this low state is all there is. And we are, again, so grateful for you joining us in this session, and other sessions are available. You can flip through like tarot, saying your pretty prayer and taking what resonates, leaving the rest for others. And also at Orphans Oracle on Substack, which to take Substack, Orphans Oracle, you may enjoy catching up on the first 23 drafts that have been released since the 5th of May, 2025, to help you as you are wrapping up Virgo season, figuring out what's working, what's not, what are you going to do, who's going to help for this next year in your development so you may succeed, and also the people with whom you are collaborating, you may gift them as well. And yeah, all right, until next time, ciao for now. We love you all.